Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy D Will, back at it again with another episode of the D Will Show, episode 103, I believe. With my guy Von Wafer, former NBA player, pro player all around. OG, what up, bro? Von Wafer, former NBA player, gonna be tapping in with me. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, D Will Show. I'm on Google, Apple, Spotify. The D Will Show is all over. If you not already, go follow. Stay in tune with the new episodes. Every episode I upload the same night on there. So if you guys don't, please go follow. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Episode 103, Von Wafer. See if I can get my guy Von in here. Got my cousin Nene in here. Got the OG, John Lucas in the building. OG, let me know, man. We got to do a part 2, OG. Let me know when you're free, man. We can work it out. Yeah, so Von Wafer, if you guys don't know, I've been watching him since I was knee-high, bro, playing with bro on NBA Live. Oh, look like he tapped in. Let me add him in now. Von, what's up, bro?
Chilling. What's up with you? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I can't complain, man. First of all, I just want to say thank you for, for taking time out your day to come on my platform and just talk to me for a little bit, kind of tell your story, to help uplift, anybody that maybe have a similar path that you had.
For sure. For
So,
sure.
so thank,
I appreciate
thank
you
you.
having me on. I appreciate
For
you
sure.
having
For sure, man. It's crazy because I remember hooping with you on NBA Live, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it just brings back good childhood memories. So
That's
I'm
what's happening.
excited for this one. For you, bro, being from Louisiana, growing up, how was your upbringing for you? How did you really get involved in sports? And how was just your childhood?
I've been playing sports ever since I can remember. Yeah, I was born in Louisiana, out in the
Mm,
country, out in Lisbon, Louisiana. It's probably about 5 miles from Homer. Before I was even old enough to, see what was going on or even have a conscience, we moved to Virginia.
okay.
So I kind of grew up in Newport News, Virginia. Um, and I moved back when I was 14. I was in the ninth grade. I moved back and stayed with my dad,
Okay.
and I stayed, pretty much in Louisiana from that point on to now, to my age to 36. I'll be
O-
37 this month, 21st. So
Okay.
I kind of grew up in Newport News in my early childhood years, and then kind of transitioned back to Louisiana. So
Okay. Now,
that's that.
how did you get involved with sports? You know what I mean? Did you play all type of sports? And what kind of led to you, picking that ball up and kind of making that your career?
I just think I just came out my mom's womb, probably playing sports.
Okay.
Ever since I guess I started like in first grade where they used to have PE class. Um,
Okay.
I used to kind of win all the tests. They used to test us and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
used to win all the tests. So it's pretty much was on from there, first grade to to now.
Yeah, definitely. What was that moment for you? Like, did you really realize, like, all right, I'm really good with hooping? You know what I mean? Because sometimes we do it as a
Yeah.
youngin, you know what I mean, till we really hit reality. What was that moment for you when you was like, all right, I'm really nice with this. I'm gonna keep going with it.
That's a great question because I really didn't realize how good I was till later in life. You know, um, but when I realized that I might have a chance is when I was playing AAU. When I was
Okay.
11th grade summer, I was playing with the Wings organization. I never had really went and played against other kids outside of my section or whatever, my district or whatever you want to call it in Louisiana. True, I
Okay.
grew up when I was young. Virginia AAU is real big, but in the country town that I grew up in, it's not really something that we have access to. So, long story short, I bumped into some people and got lucky, got an opportunity to go to play for the Arkansas Wings. And when I went on that national tournament and I was playing against other kids, I was like, hold up, I might have a chance. So I
Yeah.
guess you could say that was the first time I really felt like, something I could do something serious with the ball.
Now, when you really played AAU ball, was there any like players that played in the NBA that you were like going up against and stuff like that? Like, were like people that were like number one in the country that you were able to see for the first time?
Oh yeah. It was the first time like it was like I came up in the era where the first time where I came up in the era with LeBron. So like
Okay.
LeBron was like the first athlete that kind of took that high school thing to a whole nother level. So I came up into that.
Yeah.
And the aura just around him and just seeing him is like, yo, he's different from everybody else. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing the best I can. I'm going hard as I can go. I usually be killing everybody, but it's like it's something different with him. So the first time
Yeah.
I saw LeBron,
Okay.
he's the toughest I ever played against. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
as far as
Okay.
high school, as far as probably any level.
Okay. For you, you know what I mean, when you really made that your career and you went through, how was your high school career as far as hooping? Did you have a, you know what I mean? Because some people have, they enjoyed it, you know what I mean? They kind of hit reality. How was your high school career? And how did it ultimately lead to your choice to go, playing D1 ball?
Basketball is like my escape. You know what I'm saying? It was like my happy place. You feel me? So um, playing in high school, I love to play. They couldn't keep me out of playing 5-on-5. I just didn't know much about the how you developed your game. Like I wish I would have knew more about that, the individual
Yeah,
workout. But where I come from, we just play sand lot, sun up and sun down. So that's all I knew was 5-on-5, 21 tap, whatever, 2-on-2. So long as it was something like that, I was down. But when coach tried to pull out them cones and try to have me doing all this and all that, I wasn't really feeling that. But
yeah,
I learned that that's how you get good. So,
yeah.
but I
Okay,
love the hoop. If it was some hooping, I don't care who playing out there. You can
you
pencil me.
going at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, when you really was, coming up and like you said, you were learning how to really play the game. Who were like some of your favorite players that you were watching that kind of, you know what I mean, that kind of make you fall in love with the game more, or that you may have tried like, okay, I'm gonna try that move, I'm gonna take that move.
I had to say Michael Jordan because I used to always try to emulate him. My mom, she would work. On weekends I get to go over to like my auntie house, and
Okay.
they had a goal, and I'd always be trying to in the parking lot try to. All right, this dude got this many points. It's game 7, and I'd always end being Michael Jordan in the game.
Yeah.
I had to say Michael Jordan for sure.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you played your high school career and then you signed to Florida State. What led to your choice of going to Florida State? And what were like the main factors that you were looking for in making that choice of where you were going?
Um, I made that decision because, like, I'm gonna be 100 and be completely honest. Me and my cousin used to always, play the video games with my uncle.
Hmm.
We always play the video games, and I'd always want to get the best team. Like I always like if somebody's ranked number 1, I'm like I want to play with them. He's like, why are
Yeah.
you always trying to get the best team? It's like why don't you play with this team and try to help build them up and try to
Yeah.
beat the best team. So Florida State at the time was in the middle of trying to get his thing together in a great conference. So I'm like, let me go try to be a part of that situation and help rise into prominence. So
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. That's just how I was thinking at that time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's just the
Were
honest
there any
truth.
other schools that you were looking at, or you really had your mind
Um,
made up already?
Texas,
Okay.
but they had just lost TJ Ford, and I had it programmed in my mind. They lost TJ, so but they had Royal Ivy, who turned out to be a pro.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then they had a great team. That team with LaMarcus Aldridge, PJ Tucker,
Yep.
Abraham, Aldridge. I mean, just imagine if you threw me in the mix with that. But still, I think I made a great decision to go to Florida State. But Texas was in the mix. LSU was in the mix. That would have been
Ooh.
Arkansas was in the mix. Though I had some really good situations, and I'm just blessed to even have those schools recruit me.
Yeah.
All
Did you
great
go on? Did you
schools.
go on visits at any of them?
No,
As
I
far
ain't
as
even go on visits, man. I was from the country, like we didn't know nothing about no visiting. I would see the movies though, Blue Chips. But I didn't even
Yeah,
understand what I was looking at. You know, I watched that movie so many times, but when you're young, you just like, this is cool. You know, Penny Hardaway on here hooping and
yeah,
dunking on people. You're not looking at them take the visits. You're not looking at the politics. You're not looking at, you
yeah,
know, all that type of stuff. But I wasn't really into no visiting. I just wanted to get to the hooping, pretty much.
definitely. I feel you. Okay. Not to get too personal or anything, but whatever you're willing to share. What was kind of something that you went through that kind of made you the man you are now? That kind of was like a mountain in front of you at one point in life, whether it was just ball, life, anything.
I say the last 4 years of my life. It's crazy because I played basketball and I just was just raw ability, raw talent. When
Yeah,
I really figured out how to learn the game is when it kind of got hard for me. But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is the time for me now to really get to the bag, to really show y'all what I can do. And it's just like I don't know what happened. It's just like one thing after another kept happening. But the
yeah,
last 4 years of my life, I haven't played basketball. I just continued to just, man, I guess like I say, just God just dropped me off in the middle of the jungle, and I just had to make my way back. But the
yeah,
last 4 years have been just grinding, trying to become a better version of myself, just trying to figure out and learn things that I didn't really learn because I had ability to play basketball. So those
yeah,
things that I didn't learn, they kind of got moved out the way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But when you get older and you don't have that, you have to learn and you got to adapt. So
yeah,
that's that's the last 4 years of my life. They've been the best 4 years of my life too. You know, playing basketball is cool, but learning to be a better version of yourself is a lot cooler. I think that'll take you
definitely,
a lot further. So I had to say
definitely,
the last 4 years of my life.
definitely, definitely. I'm glad you shared that because I think, you know what I mean, that may really help somebody that may feel like, you know what I mean, trying to better themselves. You know what I mean? When you feel
So,
like what you accustomed to and what you used to, you know what I mean, is not the norm anymore. You know what I mean?
so Michelle,
Okay.
the better version you are of yourself, the better chance you're gonna have is being successful. That's just
Definitely, definitely. Wow. Okay, so you play how was your college career as far as hooping? You know what I mean? Like you in Florida State now, you know what I mean?
right,
Different vibe than what you used to. You got, you said you weren't a big fan of the cones and stuff like that,
right,
but college is like a different level of ball.
right.
How long did it take you to maintain to the college life as far as adapting different things that's going on? And did you
Um,
have your mind always ahead of like, all right, I'm going to the league after 1 year or you know what I mean? Like how was your mindset when you first touchdown in
um,
Florida State?
yeah, I had my mind set on like the NBA, and when I got to college, it kind of was an experience that I wasn't accustomed to. So it's like my mind on the NBA, but dang, what's all this going on? Like I ain't never seen that like that before. Like so, I had to kind of try to juggle with that. Like I'm from I grew up living in the backwoods. Like it's like 200 people that go to my school, and we K through 12 to coming into the middle of Tallahassee where it's like a melting pot. You got girls coming from Miami, you got girls coming from
Yeah.
Jacksonville, you got Spanish girls, you got like it was a bit overwhelming, and
Yeah.
I got freedom. I could just do what I want. I got 500 on this card. Like what the
Yeah.
heck? I was just coming from eating noodles, so it was just like I had to. That kind of was had my mind occupied, and the end goal is what I should have been thinking about was getting to the NBA. And how could I do that? Just working hard, just not being a pain in the butt to my coach, listening to my coaches because they're gonna put me in the best position possible because they're trying to win. So the more you win, the better you play, the higher you go in the draft. But I had got occupied with all those other things that I had never seen before. So my
Yeah.
college experience it resembled in my play. It was up and down. It was inconsistent, but I showed flashes here and there.
Yeah.
People could see the ability, but it just wasn't consistent enough. And
Yeah.
I think that contributed to a lot of it, not being outside of my environment. The first time being outside of my environment, being free, it was a little bit too much for me.
Yeah. Okay. But you know what I mean? You declare for the draft.
Yeah.
How was the whole draft process? Did you have a bunch of workouts with different teams? How many workouts did you have? Like how was that whole process for you? I know it's like you know what I mean, a dream to really even be in that position. So for you, how was that whole process for you as far as the draft process and stuff like that?
That process, that's the I think the most serious I had gotten about basketball in my life, and that was great because I was unlocking potential that I had never seen before out of myself. I was doing things I had never done before, even in college. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, this dude going where? That dude, hold up, I'm coming down windmilling this thing. I'm coming down hitting 10 threes in a row, but the damage already was done. Like I had
Yeah,
already was in college for those 2 years, and I didn't lock in like I was supposed to, and I just tried to turn it on, and I ended up getting drafted in a beautiful situation,
yeah,
but it was to Los Angeles, and that's kind of like the whole situation in Tallahassee again. I'm getting to LA, and I'm like, man, hold up, that like God, like you got everything, you know what I mean? It's like, dang, like, and so it was a little bit overwhelming for me too, but
yeah,
that's how that process was.
yeah. So when you get that, you know what I mean, you get that call, you know, you get drafted what 39th to
Yeah,
the Lakers, you know what I mean, you going to LA, you know what I mean, you going to a historic franchise, you going with Kobe, you know, stuff like that. How was that for you? Was that like I know it's a special moment,
yeah,
but like what was your emotions when you were going through all that, when you really realized like, man, I did it, you know what I mean, coming from where I come from, went through what I went through
yeah.
to finally be on that big stage to say I made it. I got that call.
I felt like I had unlocked a level on the game nobody had ever been to before. It's like I don't even know what to do now. I don't know, like I don't know what. I ain't nobody never made it this far. So like, what do we do? Like I don't even know what enemies to look after. We on a whole new. So it was just dealing with that. I was in
Yeah,
uncharted waters. So I was just kind of learning as I went. You know what I mean? And that could be a good or a bad thing, but you know, I definitely learned a lot for somebody. So hopefully,
yeah,
I have some children or I have some kids or someone I can mentor because I didn't go through all those bumps and bruises for nothing. But
definitely.
it definitely was a learning experience for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Now for you, how did you maintain as far as like what comes with getting drafted? You know what I mean? You got family and friends come out of nowhere, you know what I mean? You got the
Right.
spotlight, you know what I mean? You gotta maintain money, you gotta maintain, you know what I mean, your mental. How did you really stay focused and really block all that noise out to really stay focused on the main goal?
Only way I stay focused is when playing basketball. But
Hmm.
everything outside of that was kind of chaotic. But when
Yeah,
I got my game when I got drafted by the Lakers, my time to shine was like in practice, shoot arounds. They had to tell me so many times, "Yo, you need to chill out. You're going too hard. This is just shoot around." I'm
yeah,
like, "What you talking about? This is my game right here. Like this is my this is my
yeah,
time to hoop. I'm sorry." So
yeah,
we would do 3-on-3. I'd be happy about those days. And then before the game is where I really, you know what I'm saying, was like, this is my game. This is my time to get away from all that I'm going through. It's chaotic. I'm not even knowing what's coming with having all this was, you know what I'm saying. But while I'm out here before this game start, where the rookies are supposed to play and we go on each other, this is like my game tonight. So
yeah,
it was a kind of a unique experience. I don't really think people knew what I was going through, or maybe they did. I don't know. But my rookie year was, man, it was a lot coming at me. It was full speed, but those are the times that I really got to enjoy myself, and I was
yeah.
really my happiest. It's like before the games, if we did 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or in shoot around. So
Okay,
that's how my rookie year was.
okay. For you as a whole, like what has the game of ball really taught you that kind of helped you in life? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I know you talked about, you know, being focused and blocking out noise and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like what has it really taught you that you kind of still use today?
the game of basketball showed me a lot because I got to really see the truth in people.
Hmm.
It's like I don't really think people know how people really are or how they can be. And when you playing basketball, you can see a different side of people. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? You can especially if you're good at it and you're getting a lot of attention and you're getting all that. It'll bring a different side out of people that normal people may not get to see. And
Yeah.
as I transition to not playing basketball, I just see a totally, completely different side of people. So ball really showed me the truth. It showed me a lot of truth, and ball just showed me. It gave me a lot of experience and a lot of seasoning.
Yeah.
It seasoned me a lot. It helped me be around different cultures, helped me see different ways of life, and ball did a lot for me.
Definitely. To kind of piggyback off of that, I know you know played in the NBA for a while, and then you
Yeah,
kind of went across the water. How was that culture over there? It's totally different as far as time and food and language and just even a different style of play. How did you maintain that life over there? Stuff like that. Because I know you play for some teams. So
yeah.
like, what was like your favorite? What I mean, area or whatever team that you enjoyed the most too?
Um, I had to say I learned a lot in China because you know. Where we come from, you know how it is. We listening to when we young, we listening to what we listening to. We caught up in
Yeah,
it. We caught up into some whole other type of vibes. When I got to China, it's like they don't play none of that. It ain't you get you away from all of that, and you just
yeah,
kind of get to look at things from a different perspective. So I had to say China because there's so much structure there,
yeah,
and they really know nonsense. So I got to live into that and try to implement that into my lifestyle. Even when I came back,
yeah,
over here to America, where hopefully things get better. We're in trying times, and things will get better. But
definitely,
but when you're able to get away from that and see things from a different perspective, it gives you a whole different look at life. And China, I got to do that a lot. I know China has their difficulties they're facing.
yeah,
We all have our difficulties we're facing, but that's just the honest way to answer that question. I really got to focus on myself and really got to look at a lot of my insecurities, a lot of my flaws, and try to improve them while I was over there because there's so much structure.
definitely, definitely. Okay. What were some of your favorite matchups in the NBA? Who
Uh,
were some of the like your favorite ones you like guarding? Who was I know you said Brown was one of the most toughest ones. Like, do you have any other ones that
I used
kind
to,
of was tough for
I
you?
used to, those guys are the superstars. So, like, I enjoy going against guys like Kobe,
Yeah,
going against guys like LeBron. I'm going to be up for that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm going to
definitely.
be turned, but it's only so much the coach is going to let me do on that assignment. They're going to usually have the guy they're paying the most guard those guys. But I used to
Yeah.
look forward to going against guys like J.J. Redick,
Ooh,
guys like that,
okay.
because those are guys that I feel like let me dominate this guy because we kind of in the same
Yeah, roll.
category or whatever you want to look at
Yeah,
it score. So I look at guys like J.J. Redick and I just want to try to dominate them because for one they were making so much more money than me, and for two I just wanted to prove I belong. So I look forward to those type of matchups more so than the Kobe's and the LeBrons and the D
okay.
Wade's because the coach he not gonna really let me guard them that long. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? With JJ Redick, me and him, you know what I mean,
gotta
or
have some
Rudy
battles.
Fernandez, those type of guys, or Kyle Korver, we gonna be guarding each other the whole time. So
Yeah,
what I mean? I kind of
okay.
look forward to those matchups.
Okay. For you, bro, if you could sit at a table with five people, anybody dead or alive, to
Uh-huh.
just talk about life, finances, whatever, who would be your five that you would just want to sit with them and just pick their brain?
That's a good question. I had to do a lot of background research on a lot
Yeah.
of people. Man, that's a great question. Dang, who would I? Man, I can't even. That's a great question. I had to really think about that because my answer
Okay.
would be some totally different. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It'll be some.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. We'll
some
we'll we'll talk about that later. I'll hit you
for
up later
sure.
on. We can figure that out.
For sure.
Um. So this question right here, the last two I got for you, bro. This
Mhm.
question right here is probably my favorite one. What I mean? Especially people, from my area, Chicago. I just love to hear what the answer is going to be. If I was to say, yo, Vaughn, I want you to give me 5 people all time from your city to rock with you in 5-on-5,
Uh-huh.
who would be your 5 that you like, all right, my 5 right here, we ain't coming off the court. If you throw you in there, just give me 4. You know what I mean? But if you in there, I need who coming off the bench? Who coming in for somebody?
Man, that's a tough one right there. Because I got to leave a lot of people off the list. But I know who I would want on my team in his prime, and I would put him up against a lot of people. My cousin, Mario.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had to, but after that, I can't really, it's too tough. You know,
Yeah.
my cousin Mario is one of the most naturally gifted basketball players I've ever seen. People always laugh at me, but I know what I be looking at when I'm
Yeah.
analyzing talent, and I'm critiquing and looking at what this guy can do without working out, what this guy can do without lifting, and looking at what this guy can do with all of that, and then matching it up.
Yeah.
And he's he's pound for pound one of the best I done seen, because this dude didn't have no skill work, no training, no working out, and just unguardable. So like I had to put him on my team, but I
Okay.
gotta stop for that one. I don't want to offend nobody, but there's so much talent.
Okay. Okay. So the last one, bro. Just a follow up, man. How are you? I mean, mentally, as far as like everything going in the world. How's the fam? Like, how are you just holding up in the crazy times of life we in right now? Like, kind
I'm
of like a mental health check for everybody because it's just so much going on, bro. So I always want to my guests. I know I've never met some of them in person, but I just want to always connect with them, and you know what I mean, and just what I
I'm
mean, make sure everybody's all right.
man, I'm introverted,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean. I spend a lot of time to myself meditating. So you know what I'm saying. Spend a lot of time in the sun. And a lot of people think that's weird, but you know what I'm saying? I just try to connect from a different energy of some more like spiritual type stuff. And a lot of people
Yeah.
think that I'm weird for that. But mentally, I can see what's going on. I can see we're in trying times. I can see that it's going to take, a different approach to fix this. You know what I'm saying? I can see that, it's a lot finna happen. And they have their attention on a lot of other things. A lot of people are just have their attention on survival. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they can't really even think about
Yeah.
what's coming ahead, but it's not good. So I got my eyes on looking at that, and I'm just trying to best position myself so that when it does happen, when whatever is coming and whatever happens is, I can be on stable ground. I
Yeah.
can have resources in the bank. I can have whatever protection I need to have in place, and I can have just be ahead of the curve. So
Yeah.
I don't have to fall off, or that's just what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to put a game plan together for the end game.
Yeah.
Trying to become the best version of myself daily.
Definitely.
That's just where I'm
Definitely.
at mentally.
Definitely.
And
Well, man, bro.
my perfect no. Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not trying to be like I'm some Daniel's son or some like I'm Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out too. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just take a different approach.
Definitely. Definitely. No, man. I appreciate you saying that. You know what I mean? Because if you know what I mean, you got to be here to really connect with what you're saying. You know what I mean? So everybody got their own way of having an outlet. You know what I mean? So for you to even share what you do may help somebody. Go try that, and it'll help them mentally.
I hope so, man.
Def-
Spending time with yourself and thinking and just really saying your affirmations to yourself, it'll channel your focus and you can block out a lot of the bull crap. So
Definitely.
try it. Anybody
Definitely.
that's listening, try to just spend a few 15, 20 minutes alone with yourself. I am somebody. I am great. I will be
Wow.
successful. You know what I'm saying? Just speak life into what you want, and
Wow.
it'll enhance your focus. It'll enhance your drive, and
Definitely.
it'll help you a lot. Trust me. So,
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you this too, man. In your bio, you know what I mean? What that really stuck out to me as far as like really getting to know you to prepare for this interview.
uh,
What kind of was like the reasoning behind that? Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that really connected with with me as far as like, because I'm going through some things mentally, you know what I mean? As
Yeah.
far as I just lost my pops, you know, at the beginning of the year. So
Sorry
for
to
you
hear
to
that.
say something like that, you know, what was the reasoning behind that? Because I think that was really dope, you know what I mean? And people don't know what you have in your bio.
Um, which part? Because I know.
I think, let me see, let me just check your bio real quick. It was,
Sorry for your loss, bro.
you had give it all, so you have no regrets. And I think you had something
Yeah.
else too when you were saying like I've went through certain situations, so you didn't have to, you know, stuff
Right.
like
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah.
Um, just how
That's.
did you, man, bro? That was just so, you know, mind boggling to me because it's like
Yep.
people don't really say stuff like that, or they're really not too focused on what other people may be going through, you know?
I feel like I'm a giver. You know what I mean? I sometimes that's got me into trouble. Sometimes it's got me out of trouble. I just want to help people because like that struggle I just went through, man. I don't want nobody to go through that because it was a lot of dark days, depression. That is overwhelming. Like to feel that anxiety, to feel that. So I'm like, I don't want nobody feeling that. So I just try to just try to be a great example. I used to try to get on here and be like, Motivation Monday, but I don't think people want to hear all that preaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I just try to just work hard every day and just trying to get myself into a good position so people can be like, dang, man, I remember when that dude was tripping. Now look at him.
yeah,
And then I'm not going to high side on you. I'm going to be like, listen, you can do it too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Just encourage. I just want to help people just not have to go through that struggle, man. It's difficult. We're
definitely.
gonna have to go through the struggle, but it's better going through the struggle while you're at peace, while you're happy, while you're generating revenue, you have a good
Yeah,
job, you have happiness, peace. It's gonna be a struggle regardless. So just want to just help people deal with that, man, because I know how it gets. It can make you tap out. It can make you quit because it's overwhelming. You know what I
definitely,
mean? The
definitely.
struggle is it don't care about you being tired. It's like running on the treadmill, but you stuck. So
Yeah,
I don't want people going through that because that creates
okay,
a lot of anger,
okay,
a lot of tension, a lot of uneasy when people are struggling and when they're trying to survive. So
yeah,
I'm gonna try to help alleviate that because it's a better way to live out here. Just got to change a few things about ourselves, just improve a few things, do a few things differently. Bam, you know. So,
yeah,
but I got to
okay,
get in that position first where people really listen to me, and that's what I'm just focusing on.
definitely. And then the last one for you, Von. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm holding you up or anything.
No, you good.
But my little bro just asked the question. He's, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
um, coming up with hooping. He's nice with it. You know what I mean. He's getting the attention. You know what I
yeah.
mean. He got the game,
I'm gonna
and he
give
just
them.
wanted to ask
I'm gonna
you.
give them the real. I'm gonna tell you what people are not gonna tell you, and then this is gonna have people looking at you crazy. But when you are the man, it's a lot that comes with that. I know everybody like we on the team together. We on the team together, but we all trying to make it, and it's looking like you got the best chance right now. So that can create a little bit of energy, but you still got to just keep everybody on the same page, keep everybody working. You got to be the hardest worker when you're the hardest worker, your coach will look after you and hit everybody else. You can be the leader, everybody else will follow. It's a lot that comes with being the man. Like you have to deal with the attention you're gonna get from girls. That can be distracting. You got to deal with the attention that you're gonna get from haters. It's a lot you gotta juggle with when you become the man. You gotta get your work in because when you become the man, everybody coming at you. It's a lot you gotta deal with when you becoming the man. You gotta deal with a lot, and the best way to deal with that is to lean on the people you love the most. Lean on your coaches because that's who you're gonna need. You're gonna have to lean on to your coaches because they determine a whole lot. Trust in your coaches. Put your work in and block out all that other stuff. You know,
Yeah,
listen to what your coach is saying. Listen to what who you trust in your family. You need to work on this, son. Work on your left. You need to listen. Don't just be like, I ain't trying to hear that. I just had 30. Now listen to
yeah,
that critique, to that uncle that's like, you need to work on your left. You need to get stronger. I know you're killing, so I know that was a lot, but if you want to be the man, you got to deal with all that stuff.
definitely, definitely, man. Von, bro, I just want to say thank you again for just
Yeah,
taking time out. You know what I mean. I know you said you kind of like the video yourself a little bit. But you know what I mean? This interview right here was definitely probably one of my favorite ones because you really opened up, You know what I mean? That really told your story, and you gave a lot of game. You know what I mean? That people can use.
So,
So I just want to say thank
so
you again for doing this, bro. It
thank
really mean a lot.
you for having
Definitely,
me. Y'all be
definitely,
safe, man. Keep grinding, keep pushing.
definitely. All love, man. We'll be in touch. I'll stay in touch with you, and
That's a
man,
bet.
hopefully we can do a part two soon, bro.
That's a bet. I'm here. Just hit me up.
Oh, okay, definitely. All love, bro. I'm gonna talk to you.
All love. Peace.
Y'all, there you have it. Von Wafer. I think it's like episode 103. Crazy, crazy, crazy interview right there. No lie, that's probably one of my favorite ones. It was just so learning, you know what I mean? Learning mentally what you can do to help elevate yourself to get to the next level. Um Thanks to everybody that tapped in. Let me see who's all here. My cousin EJ, my homie OG John Lucas, like I appreciate y'all for tuning in because it was a good episode. You know what I mean? You got to learn from an NBA vet what he had to go through to get to that level. EJ, I hope you got that game he gave to you, little bro. Really use it. I'm gonna have it on my YouTube. Crop it, use it, listen to it. You know what I mean when you grinding. And man, keep going, little bro. I'm watching you from afar. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. All love.